Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now Friday, May the 31st, heading home about 6 o'clock. Not surprisingly, Mr. Ellis in Blackpool because they're staying 2 more nights. They're going to stay till Sunday. And due to the fact I had my vaccinations on Wednesday in preparation for going to Brazil, on top of already having a bit of a cold, I feel rubbish, to be honest. I feel like death warmed up. Evidently being given injections of things that make you ill in order to stop you getting ill, which is a strange concept as it goes anyway, has not done me any good. Also, it didn't really help because I've not had anything in 22 plus years. She had to do 4 injections, 2 in each arm. And they hurt a lot. Although she cheerfully told me that even little babies have to have the same size needle as adults get. You know, it's that kind of thing. Don't whine about getting jabbed with his needle because babies suffer it. So yeah, I just winced quietly, but it was quite painful actually. Well, it is when you get 4 of the things. So yes, not overly impressed with that one. So, as they're staying, I'm not going over until Sunday morning because I just don't feel like it at the moment, to be honest. Have some peace and quiet at home and tidy some stuff up in the garden and, I don't know, bits and pieces, whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of what's happening as far as that. Otherwise, last weekend, didn't do a lot. We went to Blackpool on the Sunday. Saturday, chilled out in the where the garden was. It rubbish weather. I can't remember actually. I think we were out a bit. They did go a bit rubbish later on. Sunday weather was chronic here. Pouring with rain. Then went to got on the motorway, got stuck in a big queue just by Brighouse Junction 25 in the M62, and that was all the way to 24 Junction, and it was because of an accident on the other side of the road. Yeah. Just before Huddersfield on the M62, been an accident on the other side, shut the motorway, it was that bad. But of course, because it was on that side, everyone on our side was stopping to go up out at the accident, therefore queuing the whole of the M62 up for miles and miles. So that added about 45 minutes onto our journey, messing about in that queue, which wasn't great. I didn't really expect it on a Sunday morning, but there you are. So we got to Blackpool and it was rammed. God, it was busy. Of course, bank holiday weekend, I suppose. But I think they must have had a few events on because there's all sorts. Thread the needle. There was all sorts of people about, all dressed up for stuff. So I think there was a few music events and all sorts going on. But it wasn't raining, which is nice because it was pouring here. Like I say, it got there and the sun had come out. It was quite nice, but it was so windy. It was blowing a gale. You could barely stand up in it, wind. So yeah, so it was really blustery and so to be honest, we didn't do a great deal by the time we got there and messed about going back and forth. Monday morning, had a look about a bit, and then I wasn't feeling great with my cold, to be honest, so I just decided to come back at about 11 o'clock, went back home and just did stuff at home instead, left them to it, and they've been merrily away since then. So but they seem to have been enjoying themselves, evidently, because they want to stay even longer, and I've been enjoying sort of the house to myself. Relaxing and watching some movies on the telly instead of an iPad, which is a nice change. And yeah, it's been really good. So other things have been happening. Nothing really exciting has been happening other than that, like I say, other than me not being very well. Steam's kind of steady away. I'm just behind on stuff, miles behind. I've started to try and do like a witness website thing with my information on, and trying to get that linking with bits of information from the blockchain, but the JavaScript behind linking with the Steam blockchain is a bit befuddling my head. So that was slow going, and I spent ages messing about trying to get stuff to work that wasn't having it. I still work on it, but I just got frustrated with that. Then the new version 20.11 was released. I desperately wanted to give that a try, so I've been trying to get it to install on the backup witness server, and it just does not want to compile. The Docker version has just been spitting out errors all the time, and I can't figure that bit out. There's no update for that yet anyway, so I've gone manual install after updating the server to a newer version of Ubuntu, which no one tends to use because a lot of the packages aren't compatible with Steamd. So then I had to downgrade a lot of stuff and mess about with it, which is very annoying. So I've no idea if I'm going to actually manage to get anything to install or not, to be honest. It seems like Steam Dock you're right with, because that holds its own packages rather than using the system ones, so might get away. Well, I'll get away with putting that back with the current one because I already rebuilt 2010 with it. But not really convinced that good, it's nice and empty because I'm going to fill it. Cardboard bin. Right, so yeah, I just don't know at the moment. I've left it compiling at the moment on the server. I'll go back later and have a look. Right, yeah, well, I'm going to drop this card off and do some shopping, and I suppose I'll come back and finish off. See you in a minute. Okay, I've been shopping and got rid of all my card. So just a few bits to keep me occupied over the weekend. I've got ooh, that's a big hole. A jalfrezi curry sauce and some pork chops and an onion and a red pepper to go with it, to make my own bizarre curry concoction in the oven, along with some egg rice in a packet, I'm afraid. And I just put it in the pan and finish it off. Oh, and a cheesy flatbread as well. So yes, that should be quite a tasty meal. I'll set it off cooking and leave it to marinate in its own juices, as it were. And some odds and ends for the freezer and that sort of thing to top up. Not a lot of point buying a lot until we get back, because dates can be quite terrible in the supermarket. I was getting some lettuce for sandwiches for Monday, and that was, some of it was dated for tomorrow. Not much good for Monday, is it, tomorrow? So Mr. Nellis has been asking me when I'm going to be doing the vlog, because I'm in Blackpool. Not in Blackpool, Richard. That's confused him. I know I said I would be, but they, you know, they changed their mind and booked an extra 2 nights. what they decided to do, so fine. Leave it. Ooh. Wow. That was impressive, wasn't it? Bit of sun out now. It's supposed to be a nice weekend, they say, which will be lovely at Blackpool, I imagine. You know, I might just sit out in the garden myself tomorrow in peace. Keep the gate locked so all the neighbouring kids that are like normally in badgering all the time because my boy's there, stay out because he's not here. Just me enjoying the sun in the garden. Sit back and relax. So yeah, so that's about it. So I watched a couple of films. What I watched was really good. I enjoyed watching. There's a little mini series ITV did. They had it on telly last week, but I watched it on catch up anyway. And it was about the Hatton Garden robbery of the jewel vaults back in 2015 it was. But you know, this big jewellery heist, I think they said they got rid of nearly 60 million in the end, although quite a large amount was recovered. But I think there was still like 10 million that had never actually got back from all these safety deposit boxes. But yes, it followed the story of the gang of how they plotted and planned it for many years before actually taking place, and then how they actually managed to get in to the vault and disable the alarm, more importantly, and then because they couldn't actually get through the vault door with all its locks on it, they drilled instead through the concrete of the vault itself 3 times, 3 holes to make it big enough for someone to squeeze through. But then they'd got the actual safety deposit boxes lined all the way around the wall, the vaults. So they, you know, the back of a bank of safety deposit boxes was in their way, and they've got this hydraulic pressure pump to push them over, and it seemed they'd not realised that they were bolted into the walls. They just thought they were standing there, so it just pushed it easy. And they've got this this pump and used it against the opposing wall to build pressure and try and push them over. And it didn't work. It broke the pump, of all things, because they were bolted in place. So that obviously upset them a lot. Decided that was it, the job was done. And that was the Thursday night of an Easter weekend. But it turns out that the gang split in the end, and the main guy who organised it, he said, like, oh, it's done, not going back, that's it, you know, we've blown the job. But the other 4 decided that they would go back. And so in the end, on the Saturday, they procured a brand new hydraulic pump, more powerful, more pressure to it, so that they could break in, and they went back again on that Saturday night, and surprisingly they got in and stole everything. But it was quite a fascinating series, actually. It's well worth watching. So that was a Hatton Garden series done by ITV. It's 4 episodes, 1 hour long each. It's still on ITV iPlayer if anyone gets a chance to watch it. But that was good. I really enjoyed that. Very interesting. Right, I'm off in to cook my amazing curry. So have a good weekend, and next week, and catch you in next week's coffee vlog. Okay, see ya.